Some of you are sitting here today waiting for a miracle, waiting for luck to change your life, waiting for the perfect moment to start. I'm here to tell you, life doesn't wait, luck doesn't deliver, and the perfect moment doesn't exist. The only thing that will change your life is what you do day after day, when no one is watching. Success is built on consistent habits, not luck. Many people look at successful individuals and think they were simply in the right place at the right time, that fortune smiled upon them, or that they were born with some special gift. But the truth is, behind every success story is a foundation of daily habits that were built long before anyone was watching. Success is not an event. It is the result of countless small actions repeated over time. It's about the choices made when no one else is around, the discipline practiced when there's no applause, and the persistence maintained even when progress feels invisible. Luck may open a door, but habits determine whether you can stay inside that room. The habits you cultivate each day shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. When you rely on luck, you give control of your life to chance. But when you rely on discipline and routine, you take control of your future. Successful people understand this principle deeply. They build systems, not wishes. They wake up each morning and do what needs to be done, regardless of how they feel. They know that every small step, every bit of effort, every repetition adds up over time. Consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Anyone can be inspired for a day, motivated for a week, or committed for a month. But success comes to those who keep showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Every repetition reinforces a pattern in the brain. Every act of discipline strengthens the foundation of success. Habits are like muscles. The more you work them, the stronger they become. And the stronger they become, the easier it is to keep moving forward. People often say, when the time is right, I'll start. But time doesn't wait. The right time will never come because success doesn't depend on perfect timing. It depends on consistent effort. The small habits you practice daily, reading, learning, exercising, saving, planning, are the building blocks of greatness. These actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they compound into extraordinary results. The person who practices a good habit every day will surpass the person who only acts when they feel inspired. There's a saying that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Preparation is built through habits. The daily grind that prepares you for the moment opportunity arrives. Without preparation, opportunity is wasted. You cannot predict when your big break will come, but you can ensure that when it does, you are ready to handle it. That readiness doesn't come from luck. It comes from discipline, consistency, and faith in the process. The successful don't wait to be chosen. They prepare themselves to be ready. Luck fades quickly, but habits last. Luck can open a door once. Habits can keep it open for a lifetime. Motivation starts you, habits sustain you. Motivation is powerful, but it is also temporary. It can spark a flame inside you, fill your heart with excitement, and push you to take the first step toward your goal. But motivation fades. It rises and falls like waves, unpredictable and emotional. Some days you feel unstoppable, ready to conquer the world, and other days you can barely find the energy to begin. That is why relying on motivation alone will never take you far. It gets you started, but it cannot carry you to the finish line. What carries you is habit, the quiet discipline of doing what needs to be done whether you feel like it or not. When you build habits, you create a structure that supports your goals. Habits turn effort into instinct. They take something that was once difficult and make it automatic. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation for that. It's simply part of your day. The same principle applies to success. When you repeat positive actions long enough, they stop requiring willpower. They become part of who you are. The difference between the average and the extraordinary is not in bursts of motivation, but in the steady rhythm of consistent action. Motivation speaks to emotion, but habits speak to commitment. When you start anything new, a workout, a business, a dream, motivation gives you the energy to begin. You feel inspired by possibilities, but as time passes, obstacles appear. Fatigue sets in. Results take longer than expected. That's when most people quit, because they confuse the loss of motivation with failure. They think the spark is gone, but in reality, what's missing is a system. When you have built the right habits, you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when you're finished. You don't wait for inspiration, you create momentum through consistency. Habits anchor your purpose in action. They remind you of who you are when motivation forgets. The person who trains every morning doesn't need to feel motivated to do it. They just do it because that's what they do. It becomes a part of their identity. Identity is built through repetition. Every time you show up, you are casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. The more you cast those votes, the stronger your identity grows. The stronger it grows, the less you rely on motivation because your habits now align with your purpose. Motivation may light the path, but habits keep your feet moving forward. Habits create progress in the moments when emotion has faded, when no one is watching, when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, or uncertain. The most successful people in any field understand that success is a process, not a mood. They don't chase motivation, they build discipline. They understand that motivation opens the door, but habits are what keep you walking through it every single day, rain or shine, until the vision in your mind becomes the reality in your life. Discipline bridges dreams and reality. Every person has dreams, visions of a better life, goals they want to achieve, things they want to become. But dreaming alone changes nothing. Dreams are beautiful ideas that live in the mind, but without discipline, they stay trapped there. Discipline is what takes those ideas and turns them into action. It is the connection between imagination and achievement, between wishing and doing. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, talent becomes wasted potential. Discipline is the steady force that transforms what you want into what you have through consistent effort and unwavering focus. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about doing what needs to be done even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or difficult. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep, studying when others are relaxing, practicing when no one else is watching. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your ability to stay committed. Dreams don't require discipline to exist, but reality does. Every person who has achieved greatness in any field, athletes, artists, leaders, entrepreneurs, built their success on a foundation of discipline. They knew that emotions come and go, but discipline stays. It's the one constant that pushes you forward when motivation runs dry. There is a misconception that disciplined people are different, that they have more willpower or some special gift. But discipline is not something you are born with, it is something you build. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows with use. The more you practice self-control, the stronger it becomes. You start with small acts, keeping promises to yourself, setting routines, finishing what you start. Over time, those small actions create a powerful mindset that can handle challenges without collapsing. Discipline trains the mind to focus on long-term rewards instead of short-term pleasure. It teaches you to delay gratification and stay patient, understanding that every small step forward is a piece of a bigger picture. Dreams are fragile without discipline. They can be shattered by distraction, procrastination, or doubt. But when discipline stands guard, your dreams gain structure. Discipline gives direction to your energy and meaning to your sacrifices. It keeps you on the path when the excitement of the dream begins to fade. There will always be days when you feel like giving up, when progress seems slow and the goal feels distant. Discipline doesn't eliminate those feelings. It simply reminds you that your commitment is stronger than your excuses. It's what allows you to keep moving when enthusiasm disappears and results haven't yet arrived. The truth is, everyone wants the reward, but not everyone wants the responsibility that comes with it. Discipline is that responsibility. It is the quiet, consistent effort that builds greatness piece by piece. Without it, dreams remain in your head. With it, dreams step out into the real world, not through magic or luck, but through the steady work of someone who refused to quit when it was hard, who chose progress over comfort, and who understood that the distance between vision and victory is crossed only by the bridge of discipline. Small daily actions create lasting change. So often we think that transformation comes from a single dramatic moment, a big decision, a sudden breakthrough, or an extraordinary event. But that's not how life works. Real change doesn't arrive overnight. It is built quietly, one action at a time, repeated day after day. The small choices you make, the tiny habits you perform consistently, compound over time into results that are nothing short of extraordinary. It's the accumulation of these small efforts that separates those who live average lives from those who create legacies. Think about the way a tree grows. It doesn't explode into its full height overnight. It begins as a seed taking root in the soil, slowly stretching toward the sun. Each day, it grows a little taller. Its roots dig a little deeper, its branches reach a little further. After years, it becomes strong, resilient, and capable of withstanding storms. Human growth works the same way. Every small action you take, reading a page, making a phone call, writing a paragraph, saving a small portion of your income, adds up. These actions may seem insignificant in isolation, but over time they build the foundation of your future. Consistency in small actions also shapes character. When you commit to doing what matters, even in the smallest ways, you train yourself to value discipline over desire, effort over ease. Each day that you follow through strengthens your self-belief, reinforces your values, and builds confidence. This is why people who succeed in the long term often appear unshakable. They have cultivated habits that create momentum. Momentum comes not from grand gestures, but from repeated effort. It's like rolling a heavy stone uphill. The first push is the hardest, but each subsequent push becomes easier because the stone has begun to move, and momentum builds from persistence. Small actions also allow you to overcome fear and procrastination. Big goals can feel overwhelming, paralyzing, and impossible. But when you focus on small, manageable steps, the journey becomes attainable. You break the goal into pieces, tackle one at a time, and before you know it, the mountain has been climbed. Success is rarely about taking a giant leap. It's about taking one reliable step after another, consistently, until you arrive where you want to be. This principle applies to every area of life: health, relationships, finances, personal growth. Exercising for 10 minutes each day builds stamina over months. Reading one chapter daily expands knowledge and perspective over years. Saving a small amount of money regularly grows into financial security. Small actions are deceptively powerful because they work quietly and visibly, and they compound. People often underestimate their own power because they look for immediate results. But change is rarely visible at first. The work you do today may not pay off tomorrow, and it may not even pay off next week, but if you persist, the effects will multiply. What seems minor now can become monumental later. Small daily actions are the seeds of lasting change, and when cultivated consistently, they shape a life that reflects the best version of yourself. Quietly building momentum toward a future that once only existed in your imagination. Life rewards consistency, not convenience. Too many people are searching for shortcuts, easy solutions, or the quickest way to success. They want results without effort, recognition without sacrifice, or progress without patience. But life does not work that way. Real achievement comes to those who are willing to show up day after day, even when it is inconvenient, uncomfortable, or exhausting. Consistency is the measure of commitment. Convenience is the measure of weakness. Those who chase convenience will always fall short, while those who embrace consistency, no matter the cost, will eventually rise to the level they aspire to reach. Consistency is what allows you to turn potential into reality. Potential is like a seed. It has power, but it does nothing until it is nurtured. Repeated, consistent actions water that seed, feed it, and allow it to grow. One day of hard work will not make you a master, but one day repeated hundreds or thousands of times will transform your skills, your mind, and your character. Consistency is invisible work. It's waking up early, doing the hard work no one sees, sticking to your routine when excitement fades, and making progress even when it is slow. The world tends to notice results, not effort, but those who are consistent understand that results are inevitable when effort is compounded over time. Convenience tempts people with the illusion of ease. It whispers, do it later, skip this, take the easy path, but shortcuts rarely lead to lasting success. They provide temporary relief but not long-term results. The person who chooses convenience may feel satisfied in the moment, but in the long run, they fall behind those who commit to showing up, working through discomfort, and embracing discipline. The difference between mediocrity and excellence is not talent or luck. It is the willingness to do what others won't consistently. Excellence is built in moments when it would be easier to quit, to take a break, to do the bare minimum. Consistency also builds trust and credibility. People notice those who can be counted on, whether in relationships, at work, or in personal goals. Showing up regularly signals reliability, strength, and integrity. Opportunities gravitate toward consistent effort. Life responds to the person who is dependable and disciplined, not to the one who does things only when convenient or convenient for others. Over time, the compound effect of consistent behavior creates results that seem almost automatic, but they are the outcome of countless repeated actions, small and large, day after day. Discomfort and inconvenience are part of the journey, and the path to success is rarely easy. Consistency does not mean always feeling motivated or inspired. It means continuing to move forward regardless of circumstances. When you prioritize consistency over convenience, you create habits that outlast emotion, momentum that survives doubt, and results that endure. Life rewards those who persevere, who choose to show up every day, who embrace the grind instead of avoiding it, and who commit to the process even when it's difficult, unrewarding, or inconvenient. Unbreakable habits make you unstoppable. There is a power in routine, in discipline, in actions so ingrained that they no longer require thought or motivation. These habits create a foundation that supports everything you do, providing structure and resilience that cannot easily be shaken. When your habits are strong, you no longer rely on fleeting emotions or external circumstances to push you forward. You act because it is who you are, because the behavior has become part of your identity. It is the unbreakable nature of these habits that gives you momentum, focus, and the ability to overcome obstacles that would stop others in their tracks. Unbreakable habits are forged through repetition, consistency, and commitment. They are built slowly, often in silence, long before anyone notices the results. Every day, every action, every choice contributes to the strength of these habits. Over time, small victories compound into significant achievements. The person who has cultivated unbreakable habits no longer questions whether they will follow through. They simply do. Discipline becomes automatic, the grind becomes natural. Challenges are met not with hesitation, but with certainty, because the foundation of habit is stronger than any obstacle that arises. When habits are unbreakable, you become unstoppable because you no longer depend on luck, mood, or temporary motivation. Life will inevitably present difficulties, distractions, and setbacks. Without strong habits, these challenges can derail you, causing frustration, doubt, and failure. But when your habits are entrenched, you keep moving forward no matter the circumstances. You have built a system that ensures progress even on days when inspiration is absent, when energy is low, or when life feels overwhelming. The power lies in the automatic, in the actions that are repeated so consistently they require no effort to maintain. Unbreakable habits also shape your identity and character. Each time you perform an action consistently, you reinforce the person you want to become. The habits you maintain daily are votes cast for your future self. Over time, these votes accumulate, creating a version of you that is disciplined, resilient, and focused. When your identity aligns with your actions, when the person you are matches the person you want to be, you operate at a level beyond ordinary. Resistance becomes easier to overcome, distractions become less tempting, and your confidence grows because your behavior consistently reflects your goals and values. The process of building unbreakable habits requires patience, self-awareness, and persistence. It is not glamorous, and it often involves doing the small, repetitive tasks that others neglect. It is waking up early, prioritizing what matters, resisting instant gratification, and committing to growth even when it feels tedious. But the payoff is enormous. Habits that are unbreakable give you a sense of control over your life, a structure that cannot be easily disrupted, and a momentum that propels you forward. They transform potential into performance, intentions into actions, and dreams into reality. Once your habits become unbreakable, you enter a state of inevitability. Obstacles may arise, but they do not stop you. Criticism may come, but it does not deter you. Doubt may whisper, but it cannot shake you. You move forward because your system is stronger than any external force. You are no longer at the mercy of chance or circumstance. The discipline embedded in your habits makes your success inevitable, and the life you desire becomes a natural outcome of the routines, actions, and decisions you refuse to break.